Peace and love, eternal love, and KOS. Peace and goodwill to all. This is a special because without this action, me, myself, taking this journey of a specialized knowledge, I wouldn't have came to the text that is offered on the screen. What is the Breatharian Knowledge? And now, my journey to discovery of Breatharian Knowledge was first education awareness. And on some later shows, I'll be bringing it in when we start dealing with the true education of health. And so when I was on my journey to understanding what is health, the Creator guided me to a certain education. And in that education, that lifestyle was mentioned. And though it was advanced for me at the time, I began building myself to that level. And when that level I became aware of those others. And that's why I gotta give a big shout out to Elatom Elamine for taking that knowledge out of the books and bringing it to the reality. The Breatharian Knowledge. And he really living it. He on full level. And so peace and love and goodwill to his name. Because of that inspiration, I went on my journey. And my journey brought forth a grand education. And I want to bring that education to the public, as he did in the physical. So this is the education to what a Breatharian is. And we're going to start with Sufa. A Breatharian is a wise, for the time period, we're going to say a wise self. But I'm going to show you the correct word as we move through this portion. So just bear with me. It won't be super long. But we have to understand the Breatharian knowledge. So look up Elatom Elamine for physical sight, for physical viewing of what it looks like and what it is and the actual experience. And this is going to bring to you the education and the background of that. The Creator come from this high state of living. And this is the wisdom of the ancients pre-Atlantis and pre-antediluvian flood. So this is what was meant, and this is how we lived before we actually came to awareness. Because as you see, I'm going to connect, not to get religious, but to bring scripture in, because it records a happening. And that happening was a transition. And that transition was in the book of Genesis. And when it spoke about being kicked out of certain paradise, and that paradise was not wanting, not needing, not lacking, but losing that understanding by becoming self-ignorant, we became unconscious to ourselves, and we began to be disobedient. And that's when the paradise exodus was upon those. And everyone alike to this day, if we don't get the proper education. And this proper education is the Breatharian knowledge. And again, without the Breatharian knowledge, we wouldn't have the Sufas. The Sufa is brought to you by the same masters that brought you the 40 days and 40 nights. This is a heavenly science. That was a Breatharian science, or a Breatharian method, or a Breatharian knowledge that all wise beings know. And so that understanding comes from the Garden of Eden. Now, when you hear Garden of Eden, you think what your maybe church have told you or your pastor, but if you read it yourself, you may see a different story and you might get a different interpretation. So, but in actuality, that story is showing you the processes how we became unconscious and lost the form of purity, which is formless, and picked up corruption, which is form. And this is pre-body. And so when you come in the body, this doesn't exclude the body nor exclude the spirit, but it's an actual coessence. KOSing. It's a KOS that has to be known for this education to take place. And the Breatharian knowledge provides that through experience. But through that experience, it was still things I needed to know and to understand that I just wasn't yet proper in the proper state, in the proper spirit to understand. But as it grew, the education came. And so I want to provide that education that came, that really calmed and brought the nourishment from the ethers. So I'm going to begin with, it's a certain Sufa called the abstinence. The all I'm to honor. Sufa 48, all I'm to honor. And that means the abstinence. Now I want us to pay close attention to, this is the Breatharian method. So if you want to live the Breatharian lifestyle, I'm going to read a passage from this, and then you're going to have conclusion of yourself and what you feel about what you have been discovered and made aware of. Then I'm going to go to another section and show you the power in this knowing. And so we're going to begin with 1. Okay, O people, there's no other deity but Allah, the compassionate, the beneficent, the gracious. All praise and homage be to Allah and no other. What is abstinence? Abstinence is the Breatharian knowledge. What is the Breatharian knowledge? The abstinence. What is the abstinence? Number 4, it comes from the Creator, Allah. To control those urges, to control those self-urges and those primal desires of self that make the uneducated and the undisciplined no better than animals and monkeys. That one may stand as a man, that one may stand as a woman and not dishonor Allah by mimicking the behavior of wild beasts, to refrain from those foods, to refrain from those drinks, to refrain from those actions which we dearly love. That we do not allow our bellies to balloon and our behavior to become like the moneylenders and traders that eat and act like swine, that we respect the gifts of food from Allah and give thanks for bounteous gifts. Remember the divine whenever you do a retreat from society. Remember the divine, the abstinence when you retreat from society, and make prayer your sleep, and make hunger your food. Breatharian knowledge. Make prayer your sleep and hunger your food. Kill not your hearts with excess of eating and excess of drinking. The world is sweet in the heart and green to the eye. In retreat for prayer, illumine your hearts with hunger and strive to conquer yourself using hunger and thirst. Breatharian method. And here come the Breatharian knowledge. The nearest to Allah are the abstinent, whoever they are, wherever they are. Breatharian knowledge. That's the Breatharian knowledge. The nearest to our Creator are the abstinent, whoever they are, wherever they are. See, there is no monasticism in Islam. Allah cares not about you leaving off eating and drinking. Anyone while fasting must abstain from all bad expressions and must not even resent an injury. The Breatharian knowledge. This is the Breatharian method to understanding that the true knowledge does not live outside of the body, but the true knowledge lives within the body. Peace and love. Have the best day ever. Enjoy. Peace and goodwill.